Hi everyone, I'm Father Toby and this is Father Raph. We're at St. Mary's Parish back here in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. We just got back from our Roman Renewal for formation directors and vocation directors in our international community, and we're just looking over the video and we wanted to give you some commentary. So if you don't mind joining me, Father Raph.
All right, let's go.
All right. So we're just hopping in the van and starting our drive up to Mentorella. You notice the music in the background is from Tanzania. That's Father Jim. He's the director in Tanzania. And through his phone, we take you to Tanzania, the chapel at Easter. They are singing what they sing every Easter, and it's not just a song, it's a dance. And they're providing background music as we head up back in Rome to Mentorella. So Mentorella is about an hour and a half by car away from Rome, and it's a retreat center that we were given at the very foundation of our community. Father Raph, how did it go for you?
Yeah, it was a welcome break actually, because it was really hot, really hot in Rome. So to be up in the mountains is a bit cool. Of course, as you can see, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So lots of natural beauty. You know, we caught a little bumblebee there pollinating a flower. And then you're just entering the chapel now that has the statue, Our Lady of Mentorella, that is all over the world, wherever Resurrectionists are, and some other places. It's always been a sacred space where we pay close attention to how Our Lady is continuing to intercede for us with her prayers and maternal support. So there's just different things to look at throughout. A little shrine with a relic from St. John Paul II. We celebrated Mass there, and everybody joined in just being in this sacred space.
It's kind of eclectic if you look at it, but it's kind of beautiful. It's been kept up over time, and it is kind of a home for us as well.
That's the old version of the statue, where it used to be painted with different colors, and then they took the colors away and they just put back a couple of colored jewels there. So right now we're following Father Pavel up the back part of the shrine, and you have to go up all of these stairs that are all dedicated to the benefactors we've had over the years, and it leads to this beautiful scenery. And then up the final set of stairs. Have you been up there, Father Raph?
Yeah, I definitely have. I didn't ring the bell this time, but I have rung the bell. It's actually sometimes too many people go up there and ring the bell. So, anyways, yeah, you got to do it once. The neat thing is that St. Benedict actually spent some time in this little cave. We don't see it, but he spent some time here in Montreal. Here's, of course, the room where St. John Paul II stayed. He would sometimes come up unannounced, actually, to Montreal, so we always had a room kind of ready for it. But now it's kind of a little shrine museum.
They still do allow people to stay in that room, but they don't allow people to stay in the cellar. It's a little too cold and damp here. This is going underneath the chapel. It's been a wine cellar for really thousands of years, over 1,000 years. Anyways, there's Brother Moses and Father Jim. They're working away in Tanzania. Brother Moses is the first Tanzanian to be in Mentorella, so it's really a special moment for him and for really the whole community. As you can see, we have this little picnic area, I like to call it, at the side of the shrine, and we all gathered there for some lunch, and just to share some fraternal joy after we pray together. How was the food?
It's pretty good.
So we're arriving back in Rome now, and this is Father Evandro driving the car. It's very difficult to get around. As you can see, the streets are pretty narrow. The Spanish Steps are just to the left there. So we're so lucky to have real estate that's so close to the Spanish Steps and many other attractions in Rome. So we make our way up this little alleyway where the gate opens, and then that's where our Genoa is located. So we're really blessed to have this big open area where we have the driveway where we can gather and go places and so on, and then this new Resurrectionist museum.
Yeah, so Father Pavel actually, when he was in Rome, helped to prepare a lot of this actually, and the Polish government, the Ministry of Culture, or something contributed. So it's kind of special. It's got history of our community in all its places around the world. This is a picture there of Bishop Nino Marzoli, who is from Italy, but he served in Bolivia. And these are Father Jean Funkin. I can't name them all, but anyways. This is founded by Gumensky. These are kind of like really historical artifacts from their time, which is really kind of cool. And it's a museum very well kept. here's a little thing on Mentorella. And here's a map of where we are in Rome. So here we have the Father Pavel taking us a little tour of the archives. This was really neat. So these are some actual, like, original handwritten letters. That's from 1828. Here is the perpetual vows of Father Eugene Funken. You can see it's 1855.
And of course, artifacts that we have along the way, old typewriters and things that we hang on to for keepsake and just to show people when they come by for interest. So this is where we all met from different countries from around the world, Brazil, Poland, United States, Canada, and Tanzania. And we had translators to help us to communicate with each other so we could talk about the various challenges and joys that we got to experience along the way in formation and vocation work. So I got everybody to wave to you guys so that you could see their faces, because we were quite happy, I think, throughout our conversations, because we got to support one another in a really special way in a sacred space for us all.
And of course, every day we had Mass together, we prayed together. In the mornings, we generally had speakers, and then in the evening, in the afternoon, we would kind of discuss, thoughts and things that kind of occurred to us. Here, I think just at the end of Mass, we're singing the Regina Caeli, which is the Marian antiphon for Easter.
What a great transition to your mallet that you like to process the lobsters and make your favorite dish.
I owe them a new mallet. I damaged that one. So.
So you have the lobster pulled apart, ready to be, you coat it in something, don't you?
Yeah, so it's deep fried first. It was really hard to find them in Rome, actually, but it was fun. The sisters actually had asked me if I would teach them to make a Chinese meal, so this was kind of our attempt at it.
There's Naldo helping out, and there's Father Tony doing the taste test. He approves. He loved it, along with everybody that was there. And then sometimes in the evening, if we have time, we go out and tour some of the sites in the area and grab some gelato. So you're looking at the Trevi Fountain there. And then you're looking at the Colosseum. So the night was getting long, and so some of us, continued on and went to different fountains and had a beer at a nearby pub, and just generally speaking, relaxed and enjoyed some of the sights of Rome. It's really important, I think, that we recharge our batteries from time to time after some of the work that we do. It can be very intellectually draining, and to get out and get some exercise and enjoy Rome is really important. That's a memorial made by homeless people, which I thought was really inspiring, because they really miss Pope Francis. So we're taking off again. This time we're going to the Catacombs of St. Sebastian. Maybe Father Raff can tell us a little bit about why this is significant in our community.
Yeah, so the Catacombs of St. Sebastian is actually the place where our founders professed their first vows. It's really, in a sense, the beginning of our religious community in an official kind of way. So we're heading there, and the Catacombs of St. Sebastian, it's kind of famous. It's St. Sebastian, one of the last martyrs during the end of the Roman persecutions. After his death, I think within 20 years, came the Edict of Toleration. So shortly after they laid him to rest, all of a sudden, this place of burial became a pilgrimage site. So this is where his body is kept now, but we're about to see downstairs. We went downstairs into the actual catacomb itself, where we celebrated Mass and actually renewed our vows. So we'll see in just a minute. This is
the main chapel with a few side altars and paintings. I really like the way Jesus looks at Mary and vice versa in that painting. That's why I did a close-up of it. But that's the sanctuary in the main chapel. And the ceiling had interesting artwork everywhere you went. Then this door opens along the side. Our tour began. They have people who always maintain the site. It's very significant in the history of Rome, so it's well taken care of and protected. So we were allowed to go down into the chapel area below the chapel, and this is actually in the catacombs themselves. So they have different, that's obviously St. Sebastian, different artworks, sculptures, and so on. And then we gather in a sacred space where we have been gathering for almost 200 years now.
And so just under the altar there was the original sarcophagus where St. Sebastian was, but the body is now upstairs.
So there it gives you a couple of pictures of some of the younger members in our community as we continue on this journey, eventually back to our home. There's St. Mary Major off in the distance there. When we got home, I had a nice barbecue on the balcony. You can see we have a beautiful view of Rome, and of course we conclude with gelato like every other night. And this time we went to, what's the name of the place?
Della Palma.
Della Palma by the Pantheon.
This is Gioliti.
Oh, this is Gioliti. So we have a we enjoy our gelato. Let's just leave it at that. We build a lot of fraternal spirit and joy over gelato. So that's us next to the Spanish Steps, the end of the night, and then going on a tour of some other significant places for our community in Rome the next day. This is the Gesù.
This is the San Ignazio. So this is the St. Ignatius Church in Rome, and so a lot of Jesuit saints and blesseds are here. This is St. Robert Bellarmine. This is Gonzaga. It was in this place that St. Ignatius really had a prayer experience where Jesus said, "I will be propitious to you in Rome. I'll be good to you in your company in Rome." The Jesuits kind of favorably received by the Pope, and of course the rest is history. This is where we lived actually. Our founders in this area is called the Piazza Morgana. And this is the Santa Maria Capitelli. This is the site of the funeral of Podiniansky, the founder of the Congregation of Resurrection. So have a look inside the church.
It's really amazing that you can go into these buildings that are nearby and know that the founders were there. And then you can go into these churches, and significant moments within the community were held. And they were looking at some of the same paintings and artwork that we are looking at, and perhaps offering very similar prayers that we're offering for the well-being of the world, the marginalized, and the Resurrectionist community. Mary, wherever we find her, is very significant person and saint in our community. And this, you're looking at a very famous church.
This is St. Claude's. So this is where we were for a good portion of the beginning of our history. It was the French church in Rome because our founders started in Paris, so we took care of this parish there.
And then had Mass that day at St. Claude's, and the next day we had the papal audience at St. Peter's. Every Wednesday there's a papal audience in the morning, and we had Father Enyer Gangwish get us really good seats so we could get close to Pope Leo. So it was really great, at least for me, to see him in person for the first time and to hear English being spoken perfectly. It was awesome. He does carry with him his unique sense of engagement and joy. He's always smiling, he's always picking up the children and the babies and blessing them. And there's Father Jim trying to tolerate some of the more enthusiastic Brazilians.
We're sitting out there for like 2 or 3 hours in the heat.
And it was a lot cooler the next day when we went to the Sisters of the Resurrection. They were about a 20-minute walk away, and they gave us a tour of their place, air-conditioned. And so we got to see Mother Celine, or Saint Celine now, she's their foundress, and the different areas that they tell her story and the story of some of the sisters who have gone before them, and also some of the Resurrectionist brothers and priests that helped found them and continue to walk with them along the way up until today. There's Father Eric with 2 of the sisters, and some more of the sisters, and some of the brothers and priests that continue to engage. We love to support each other because we have that common charism, although it gets lived out in a different way. The sisters at their generalate here, it's also part ministry, so they have younger grade school children in kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, and they minister to them there. So they run a small school, and then they also have in their hallways and different rooms different pictures and places where they meet that are just as significant for them as the places that we were going to in our generalate and beyond in Rome. God provided for them too in Rome. So this is one of their 3 balconies, and I just enjoyed, the tour. We had a beautiful day, and I couldn't help taking this footage, my impersonation of Star Wars, going through this side of their balcony, and then it goes around up to the other 2 balconies. So maybe Father Raff can tell us a little bit about what his experience of the sisters was.
I was wondering what you were doing there. I thought it was a drone or something. No. So they have multiple balconies here. Although our roof is a nice view, their space is quite beautiful as well. And they're just saying goodbye to us as we're heading out.
Really a great group of sisters. And it was just great to meet many of them and see some of them for the second and third time. We've met them before. And great complementary to both of us, really, as we live out the same charism. So that about does it for the highlights of the tour. And we hope that you enjoyed your time and that you got a sense of what it was like to be on a Roman renewal with the formation vocation directors.
And I felt like in our conference, there was really a sharing of wisdom and new perspectives, because younger people always come with more perspective, different perspectives. And so that made for a great combination, and it really gives me great hope.
I never studied in Rome, but people who studied in Rome say you get a sense of how the church is universal. And I mean, our community is international. I got a real sense of that we are an international community.
The brothers from Brazil and Tanzania and Canada, the United States and Poland, all coming together, excited about formation, excited about the future, doing their work together to help form one another as formators for the good of the church, for the good of the congregation throughout the world.
That people are eagerly entering in our community, and since they come, many of them, so I see the hope in the future. So I invite all Resurrectionists and all youth all over the world to join our congregation to carry the flag of risen Christ.